Hello, everybody. It's good to have you with me again, and I hope you're well. I'm kind of praying that you keep well physically and mentally. I wanted to talk to you about the distressing stuff that comes out of the US at the moment. Seems to be quite a lot of distressing news, not just out of the US, let's say, but China is tightening down on Hong Kong. There are tons of things that are just pressing down on us, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired about bad news. I'm getting tired about having to I start to wait for bad news. I start to go, what's going to go wrong this time? Ever since the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, there seems to be no end of stress, of worry, of anxiety around, and I'm almost fear that it is not getting better. So I'm going to have to kind of put my way of thinking back to God, and it's really difficult because I don't know about you, but sometimes I look into my Facebook thing, and I look at the news, and I'm depressed, and I feel anxious. It's either depression or anxiousness that I feel. And I kind of think that a lot of you do too. The thing is, what I really wanted to talk about is the fact that we are all human. And because we're all human, it means that we are all vulnerable and we all get it wrong. We all have in us something that is not 100% fixed right. Even if we follow Jesus, we are set free of the consequences of that brokenness and the sin, if you want, the awfulness of our hearts. But we still struggle with it day to day. We are still fighting it for day to day. And the most important thing at this particular time is to try to think that it is not just two sides going on. It's not just two things going on. It's not just Donald Trump and his right-wing stuff, and the other side is possibly, let's say the rioters and people looting and then plundering and hurting other people. There are no two sides. We will always be presented with just two sides, positive and negative. We have seen a white officer kneeling on a black man that was already immobilized for all intents and purposes. And but we also see, black rioters laying into police. But we see white supremacists shouting and abusing white officers in riot gear. We see black people being angry and upset with black people. But it is very easy to focus on that. It's very easy to worry about that, and I worry about it. This is not about whether or not you should worry about it or not. Yes, it will distress you. It will distress all of us. But what we need to also see is that there are black officers in America who fall on their knee. They go down on one knee and beg for forgiveness for their colleagues. There are white officers that do that. They take off their helmet, their riot gear, and march with the demonstrators. And they want to do this because they understand. So we have all in us, the darkness, the anger, the fury, the absolute rage in us, but we also have compassion. We also have love. We have seen that people have sacrificed themselves for us, for you and me, protecting us. The nurses, the doctors, the caretakers, they have really worked very hard. Some haven't, yes, but a lot of them have. We have seen politicians that completely get it wrong, and we see politicians that get it right. And it's difficult to fight sometimes with politicians, but it is true. You know, we have, I'm quite pleased and comforted by bishops who speak out against the violence against black people, but they also speak out against the looting and the rioting. It's not a good solution, but it is, at the moment, it seems to be the only solution that people find. What I'm trying to bring over is that we are not just one thing or the other. We have a shade, we have a whole stream of things that is defining us, that is defining our world, that is defining how we react to each other. And what we need to focus on, what I need to focus on, is the good. The good that God sees. The good that is coming out in a time of crisis. The good that the demonstrations and the riots may actually resolve into a solution, into a positive thing. It is very, very hard to see. It is very, very hard to see without thinking there's going to be more bloodshed, there's going to be more pain, there's going to be more tear gas, there's going to be more people beaten up, there's going to be officers being hurt and even killed. Maybe. But there is maybe some kind of horizon, some kind of light at the end of this tunnel. And it's very important to bring that out and to focus on it. And we need to all realize that we have sinful hearts, but we also have a soul that is connected to God. We are connected to God. We are connected to Jesus as a friend, as a brother. We are connected to God as a father. We are connected to God in our spirit. Well, that's what the spirit is for. And the connection, that we keep the connection going. What we need is to focus on that. I mean, what we need is to pray for God to show us the good, the right, the thing that is coming out brilliant in the end. 2020 will, without doubt, go down in history as probably one of the worst years for a long time. And it's probably not even over. The economic collapse, the economic ruin that has been, that is coming, there's still going to be a lot of pain. And I'm sorry that I have to tell you this, but there is also going to be a future. There is going to be God at the end. He works in change. He works even through the worst of humanity. He is involved in the worst of humanity. Is it always easy? No. Can I personally always accept every single person that is writing, or every single person that demands white supremacist vigilantes to parole their towns? No, I can't. I wish I could. I I pray for these people, but some people I just find hard to deal with. What I need to see, what I need to look for, is this: there is God in there somewhere, and God can work miracles. God can change people. He can crack people. He can bring them down. Not to punish them, but to change them. So I'd like you to pray with me just now. Father, we'd like to pray for peace. We'd like to pray that you will make everyone aware that Black Lives Matter, that there is inequality, that there is discrepancy, that there is a serious break in all societies, that there's conflict and pain. But Father, we'd like to pray that you will help us to also see that you're working on the solution every day, in every way you can. There will be people who you will not reach, but it is not up to us to deal with them. It is up to us to pray for them, to have mercy on them, to not treat them as if they're garbage, to bring about change. Father, help us to bring about change. Help us to bring about a society that is more equal, that is more consistent, that eradicates poverty, eradicates homelessness, eradicates problems with all kinds of things, and that tackles in a positive and constructive way how to deal with refugees, how really to listen to them, help us to look after widows, orphans, those who are poor. We have a good town here to look after the poor, because there's a lot of poor people here. We pray, Father, for your mercy on us, and refresh us every day, every single day, with your Spirit, and remind us that you work, that change is coming, that your Spirit is already working, that you are with us, that you are Emmanuel. Lord, we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.